What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. Today I am bringing you a season recap and Week 17 gameplay against the Kansas City Chiefs. I do have to apologize that this franchise and the Steelers franchise really up to this point have been kind of disappointing on the channel. They've been disappointing to me, and I'm sure for those of you following, it's been disappointing to you that I haven't uploaded a ton. There really just haven't been any good games whatsoever on my schedule. I mean, you're going to look at my schedule and just see some of these games. Like, if you look up in the top left-hand corner, just beating teams, blowing them out 60-something, 20-something. It just hasn't been interesting up until this point. I've been blowing people out way too easily, and so none of the gameplay's really been worth bringing to you guys. However, I do want to kind of at least give you guys a season recap, and then I'll give you guys some either playoff gameplay or some playoff recaps just to finish out the franchise, at least after this first season. I do want to mention that I will probably get back into the Steelers franchise a little bit and actually play that one through, and we are going to be starting up another franchise sometime in the next couple weeks where I'm going to be the Cardinals. We're going to have a lot more users in it, and so I think we'll have a lot more gameplay to show you guys that'll be more interesting. So definitely stay tuned for that, and if that's something you want to see, let me know down in the comment section, or let me know by leaving a like on this video. Regardless of that, let's go ahead and get right into the recap on the season. As you guys can see, we are 14-1. Let's look at the division standings. We are atop the division standings at 14-1, 10-4 for the Chiefs, 10-4-1, I guess you could say. They're going to be in the playoffs, but as a wild card team, the Raiders have a nice 7-8 record. That's nice considering where I thought that they would be with me being in the division and playing so well. And then the Broncos are at 4-11. Now, we do have to talk about some of the other users. Some of the users are playing pretty poorly. The Bears are giving the other players a run for their money, but not doing that great in terms of record. The Jets are in contention for the first overall pick. The Texans have struggled a little bit, and they're kind of in contention, I believe, at this point in the season. If they get a win, they might be able to get into playoffs. And then the Browns are doing really well. I think they're going to win the AFC North. Let's go ahead and look at the actual standings and just kind of show you guys where everybody plays out. So if we look at the AFC in particular, we obviously get the 1 seed at 14-1. Nobody can catch us. The Browns get the 2 seed at 11-3-1, and I believe they're going to hold that 2 seed. I don't see them losing the last week of the season and causing a problem or anything like that. Interestingly enough, that means that the Ravens have clinched as a wild card team. The Browns just defeated them last week. Actually, that was that matchup in Week 16, and so the Ravens are going to get into the playoffs as a wild card team at 11-4 or 12-4 or 11-5, and so that'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the Chiefs are a wild card team at 10-4-1, and so that doesn't leave much room for other wild card teams. These two teams are playing really well, are the wild card teams. And then the interesting thing is the Bills are sitting here at 10-5. They did really well for themselves, and the Jaguars are sitting here at 9-6. And actually, now that I say that, I don't believe the Texans actually have a shot at getting to the playoffs, so they are officially eliminated, and so are all of the rest of the teams down here below that. And as you guys can see, the Jets are competing with the Dolphins for the first overall pick. The Jets actually lost to the Dolphins both times, so I don't know how the tiebreaker works for getting the best pick, but right now it has the Jets sitting there as getting the number 1 overall pick, which I'm sure this guy's happy about. Hopefully he drafts a good player and manages to turn his franchise around if we do keep playing this into the future. Now we look at the NFC, and there's only one player over here in the NFC, I believe, and that is the Bears, because some of the other guys we had to kick out of the league. He's sitting here at 8-7, still in contention from my understanding, and so the Cowboys are up here at the top of their division, the Packers at the top of their division, slightly ahead of the Bears. Then we have the Eagles, who are the first wild card behind the Cowboys. We have the Panthers on top of their division, and then the 49ers that's the top of their division, correct? Yes. And so the Bears are close here in contention for getting into the playoffs. We'll see how everything plays out there. This is the guy that beat me head-to-head this year. This is my one loss, and so I'm kind of rooting for him to not get into the playoffs, honestly, but we will get good matchups. If we were to get to the Super Bowl, I'm sure he would be in the Super Bowl, and we would play head-to-head, but he's not as good against the AI as I am, so I should have an easier ride, at least through my AI playoff games. I imagine I'm going to have to face the Browns at some point, and he's going to be a tough matchup as well. With the standings out of the way, let's go ahead and look at our season stats and show you guys how everybody's producing. Quarterback-wise, Phillip Rivers is leading the league in passing yardage and passing touchdowns. That's no surprise to us. We did keep his interception numbers down. I would have liked to get them a little bit lower than that, but we do toss up some balls occasionally and get picked off for that. But really good numbers for him. My pride and joy is that I was actually able to get his completion percentage up around 75%, which is improvement for me from past Maddens, not passing quite as high in terms of completion percentage as other people. I tend to throw more picks than a lot of people, and so I've gotten those numbers down and gotten the completion percentage up, which is really nice for me to see, with 139 passer rating, which is outstanding. We go ahead and look at the rushing totals, and I did accomplish what I set out to do for you guys, and that was have two 1,000-yard rushers in the same season. Obviously, once Melvin Gordon came back off of his holdout, we ended up getting him up to 1,500 yards, which means that he was averaging, 150 yards per game. It's actually more than that because we held him out. And so he's been averaging an absurd number of yards per game. We got him up to 1,600 yards so far. And Austin Eckler, we just managed to crack 1,000 yards within the past 2 games, and he's up to almost 1,100 yards. I'm really excited about the fact that we've been able to keep both of them involved, so hopefully they both get a lot of XP at the end of the season. I'm really enjoying the fact that I have 2 really good running backs that I can rely on. I could use them as a trade piece in the future. I would be fine starting Austin Eckler. Melvin Gordon having that superstar X factor is really nice, but we'll see how things play out in the future. If there's somebody you want me to trade for, I definitely have the trade piece to be able to go out and get that player. Just know that we're playing a realistic league, so next season, if you want me to trade away Melvin Gordon to try and get somebody else back in return, know that they're going to have to need a running back. I can't just trade Melvin Gordon to a team that has Le'Veon Bell or a team that has Todd Gurley because it's just not going to make sense. The trade will never get approved. So make sure that if you guys have somebody you want me to trade for, you make it sound a little bit realistic. Spencer Ware has gotten a few reps, and when he has gotten reps, he's done really well with them. 16 carries, 2 touchdowns for us, so actually doing a decent job there as the 3rd string running back. In terms of receiving yards, we are close to having 3 1,000-yard receivers. Now, I don't believe I'm going to get Emmanuel Hall up to 1,000 yards because that would require a 300-yard game from him in this final week of the season. So he's going to be close to 1,000 yards, which is just nice to see out of him. We ended up giving him the spot over Travis Benjamin because Benjamin just didn't do much of anything for us, and so it is definitely nice to see that Emmanuel Hall has kind of stepped up and gotten into that position, and we'll show you guys everybody's overalls once we get there, but he's up to a 76 with the 2 morale boosts. He's gotten a whole bunch of upgrades at this point, and you can see his stats have just gone way up. He's skyrocketing as a receiver and doing really well for us. We'll show you guys everybody's overalls as we move forward. And then we have 2 really nice receivers, number 1 and number 2 with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is actually the number 1, but Mike Williams has been dominating this season. Keenan Allen's more of a red zone target. He has 19 touchdowns. And obviously you guys can see that we do pretty well with Hunter Henry, and actually having a good second tight end helps us getting a couple hundred yards through him. Let's go ahead and move on to our blocking. I do want to show you guys sack-wise where we stand. Now, Taylor Decker came over leading the league in sacks allowed from the Lions, I believe it is, and he had like 8 or 9 sacks. And so from that point prior to the trade deadline up until now, he's only allowed 2 or 3 sacks, which is absolutely phenomenal. It happened to work out exactly the way I thought it would, where he would improve as the season progressed. And our offensive line is actually performing much better late in the season than they did early on in the season. And I'll show you guys their overalls have jumped and they're playing really well. Next, I want to show you guys the defense and all the different stats. We have crazy stats across the defense here. Not tackling-wise, I mean, the leading tackle is Jatavis Brown, which is really nice to see. We did complete a challenge for him, which allowed him to get up to superstar potential, which is really great to see. Hopefully he continues to progress, and we're going to continue to feed him XP. But the real stats that I want to look for are the sack stats. And we have sacks by everybody on this defense. Obviously, Joey Bosa did end up breaking the sack record at 23.5. And he has, pace to get more than that. Melvin Ingram at 14.5 sacks, absolutely phenomenal. Jatavis Brown managing to get 10.5 himself. Mac Wilson getting 10 as a rookie, and Wosu getting 7.5 as a second-year player. Derwin James getting winning for 5. Drew Tranquil for 4.5. Nasir Adderley for 3.5. And even the corners getting involved. 2 for Desmond King. Deshaun Hand coming over new, getting a sack. The backup, Ewan Price, or I don't know how you say his name, but got a sack, and Corey Leggett got a sack to boot. So really good sack numbers, pressure coming from all over the defense, which is really nice to see. Interception-wise, we do have a team leader, and the guy that I complained about a lot early on about, dropping interceptions, finally got the hands to start getting balls that were thrown right at him. Trevor Williams is up to 7 interceptions on the season. Derwin James is up to 5, and I believe that 7 interceptions on the season might be a league-leading number. I do want to check that out real quick and just show you guys if that is a league-leading number. No, so he's really close. He's just behind Tre'Davious White in interceptions, which is nice to see. Let's go ahead, head back to the team. We have a couple more stats to cover, and then we'll move on and play the game for you guys. In terms of pass deflections, getting a decent number out of our defensive backs, as you guys can see, Nasir Adderley, Trevor Williams, Casey Hayward, and Jatavis Brown doing a nice job. We do have quite a few forced fumbles, a lot of them coming from Derwin James, but a few of them coming on strip sacks by Joey Bosa, which is really good to see, and then a couple spread throughout from my other guys, probably on sacks. Do we have any blocked kicks? We do have one block kick by Michael Davis. That happened earlier on in the season. We have a couple safeties from my understanding. Yeah, 2 by Uchin Nwosu, 1 by Jatavis Brown, and 1 by Mac Wilson, which is good to see. And then defensive touchdowns, we only have that one that happened in Derwin James's first game back to the team off of injury. So really good stats defensively for us. Kicking-wise, Michael Badgley is up there as one of the best kickers this season. He's kicking 17 for 18. I was really disappointed that I missed the one kick because I should have made it and I just screwed up the kicking meter. And then punting wise, I know you guys don't care, but doing a good job with anger, punting 53-yard average. Kick return wise, Sammy Coates has gotten the bulk of the work and done pretty well for us. I think right now I have Travis Benjamin returning, and punt return wise, he does slightly better. He gets a few more yards per average return than Sammy Coates does, just because I think he has the better moves for us. And so that's kind of where we stack up in terms of season stats. Obviously, you guys know that we're probably leading in a lot of these categories. If we go ahead and take a look at the NFL, I will show you guys that there are a couple players that are up there. Baker Mayfield, obviously competing with us for the number 1 spot as a QB. Rushing-wise, Ezekiel Elliott is on top of Melvin Gordon currently. Actually, they're tied at the exact same number of rushing yards, so we do need a strong game from Melvin Gordon if we want him to win the rushing title. But there's really nobody else here in contention for that at the moment. Receiving-wise, OBJ nearing 2,000 yards on the season, just absolutely blowing away the rest of the competition. He's the main target on that team, which is not a surprise, but it's just crazy to see how much he is blowing away the rest of the competition. If I was relying on one receiver, I could imagine that Mike Williams or Keenan Allen could have close to that total, so I'm definitely not taking a shot at him whatsoever. Good on him for using his best player, his best playmaker, and getting the ball to him. I just spread the ball around slightly more. Defensively speaking, Bobby Wagner up at the top of the league in some of these stats, as you guys can clearly see. But then, as I had pointed out earlier in the season, there are a couple guys that are having surprising seasons defensively, like Alex Anzalone, Alec Ogletree, Vontaze Burfict, and stuff like that. So a couple interesting ones coming out on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's pretty much all I need to update you guys on right now, aside from the overalls. I did want to show you guys how everybody has progressed in terms of overall, and then we can move on from there. Now, as you guys remember, we started off the season with everybody in the 70s and Mike Pouncey as like an 82 or 83 at offensive line. Obviously, everybody has confidence boosts right now, but the entire offensive line is 80 plus at this point. Taylor Decker's gotten a bunch of upgrades, so has Forrest Lamp, so I think the left side of our line is going to be solid for the next few years. Mike Pouncey will be around for a couple years. Donald Penn is definitely going to retire, so we're going to need to fill that spot, and Okung is getting up there in age, so we might need to fill that spot as well. Hunter Henry's up to a 90 overall, so he just catches pretty much everything that we throw to him. Keenan Allen up to a 95. I don't think he progressed much, but Mike Williams up to an 86. He has progressed, and Emmanuel Hall, like I said, has progressed to a 76. Running back wise, Austin Eckler has gotten a couple boosts, I believe up from an 82 to an 85, and then nothing really else to note there. But defensively speaking, we have progressed really well as defense. Nasir Adderley up from his low 70 or mid 70 grade up to an 81. Derwin James at a 93. We obviously obviously have the linebackers progressing really well, as you saw through their stats. Mac Wilson up to a 77, Brown up to an 81 with Superstar, and Nwosu up to an 81. So really solid up there at the linebacker spots. And Drew Tranquil isn't doing too bad for himself. And then everybody else is pretty much where you would expect them to be. Desmond King up to a 90. Trevor Williams hasn't gotten a whole lot of upgrades yet, but I'm hoping he does from getting all those interceptions, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and jump into the game and just get you guys a little bit of gameplay for the last game of the season here. Like I said earlier on in the video, if you guys are interested at all in franchise gameplay or anything, I know that the majority of my viewers are here for tips and tricks videos and whatnot, and so a lot of you guys aren't even going to click on this video to begin with. But it's nice. I don't want to call it filler content, but like, there's only so many tips and tricks videos I can make, and if I do them all at once, you know, then it gets burnt out, and so I won't have things to make in the future. So I do have to kind of pace myself with the tips and tricks videos. If you guys have personal suggestions of videos you would like to see, things that you need help with, those are always great. You guys have been making it really easy on me lately by giving me a lot of tips and tricks that you guys personally want to see, things that you need help with, and so that makes it easy on me if you guys do give me tips like that. So definitely consider giving me, you know, videos that you want to see as we move forward, and I'll be happy to make them for you. We are obviously playing 7-minute quarters. You might see me chew the clock quite a bit, just because of the fact that the 7-minute quarters are just too much for me because I've been blowing teams out so much. So we're going to try and get out here and stop the run. There we go. Deshaun Hand, I believe, was the one that got in there and got that stop. We're going to come out here. We're going to fake a mid-blitz. There we go, buck zone blitz. We do like to blitz quite a bit. I'm going to bring Adderley down here in coverage and help cover with Tranquil. It's going to be a run. And there we go. Bosa stops it in the back. Oh, that's Jatavis Brown. Stops it in the backfield. And third down, let's go ahead and go buck zone blitz. I'm going to drop off with Cravens here. And there we go, force another sack. Like I said, this defense is just doing phenomenal. I'm glad I see Deshaun Hand getting there for a little bit of pressure. First forced, not turnover, but change of possession of the game. Really, the Chiefs have not presented much trouble for us so far this year. It might, I don't want to speak too soon. It might be different this time around, but we have really just been taking it to all of our opponents lately. We are going to ground and pound because, like I said, I do want to try and get Melvin Gordon that rushing title. I'm going to get him. I'm going to try and go for a 200-plus yard game here and try and get him as close to whatever rushing title we can. Sorry, that sentence didn't make any sense. There's only one rushing title. I got to turn my volume down for some reason. The game volume is just absurdly loud right now. There we go. Melvin Gordon gets his first down. Like I said, we've just been having big holes open up for us. Now that our offensive line is so high overall, you know, 80s is high overall for this game this year. If you're playing franchise mode, that is. There aren't a lot of very good linemen, you know, to go around. They're really few and far between. You're going to have trouble getting a good offensive line, especially if you start with a team that has a bad offensive line. That's going to be another one of my main challenges when we do the franchise that I am going to be the Cardinals in, is that their O-line definitely needs some help. So, you know, we'll see what happens with all that. I think I'm going to try and pass this one to Allen. We'll see. Oh, Hunter Henry was open underneath, and I just couldn't get the ball off. Jones able to get to us, shed the block before we could get it off. What would they like us to call? I forget that out of this playbook there, the coach suggestions are all screwed up. So it's good divide wheel. See if we can't get something open, probably over the middle here. Hunter Henry, no surprise, open over the middle. Pretty secure catch. Definitely a good option to always take it and throw it to Hunter Henry. Even in traffic, he comes down with those balls all the time. We're going to go PAX burst cross. See if we can get Hunter Henry open again coming across the middle. Try and get him incorporated a little bit early into this game. Yep, there we go. Hunter Henry comes down with it in the end zone, and we're going to make it a one-touchdown lead, a one-possession game. very early on, and like I said, we might have to start chewing clock if we come out here and play really well against these guys.
Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
Go ahead, kick it off.
So many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always.
And I would simulate, but we have a rule in this franchise that you can't sim defense or anything like that. I know that you know, everybody knows that I'm not gonna cheat at the game because obviously I'm 14-1, so I don't need to cheat at the game to do well. But come on, tackle him behind the line. Good job, guys. Second and 2. What you gonna come out in? 2 wide receiver set. Let's go ahead, come in the 3-4 predator. We're gonna come in with a double safety blitz and hope that we can get through on this. Oh man, our guy went for the pick. He's gonna give up a big run. Oh, that's gonna be a touchdown. Watkins. I don't even have him set to play the ball. If you're gonna jump on that one, dude, you gotta get the pick. I'm not sure who that was out on the outside, but they failed to get the interception. It's gonna be a 7-7 game. Let's see what we can do. I should have replayed that and saw who that was, but I'll be able to see next time I get out here on defense who the outside corner was on the right side. And I think they have Tyreek Hill currently, so if they have Tyreek Hill, I need to watch the man coverage against Tyreek Hill. I actually had, I should comment, I do run custom playbooks, and you guys know that if you've been following the series. I had trouble for some reason when I was using my custom playbook. All of a sudden my offense wasn't appearing on the field, and it was due to the custom playbook, so I had to re-edit my custom playbook. There you see a 73-yard touchdown by Melvin Gordon. Like I said, too easy, honestly.
Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
First quarter, 2:52 left. It's already 3 scores down in the game. So maybe I'll just start playing more conservative defense and force them to slowly work their way down the field, just to eat up time. I can't shoot clock if it's a 1-play touchdown. So there's that. 3-4 predator again. Let's just go with the cover 3. Shift left, it's more than likely a run to the left. That's going to be another sack. Melvin Ingram just never stand a chance. I just don't understand why. I think it's the confidence. It has to be the confidence. This team just plays so much better than everybody else. We're going to just drop back into a coverage here, fake the blitz. Drop back with Cravens, probably cover this tight end. Oh, it's a screen. Come on, guys, tackle him. 10-yard gain on the screenplay. That's a good call. Gets a lot of that yardage back. We're going to go ahead and go with cover 2. Try and cover underneath, because I think that's going to be mainly where we're looking for. It's going to be another screenplay. Are you kidding me? There we go. Tranquil with the tackle. Loss of 4 on that play. I'm going to get the ball back and start chewing the clock.
On the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys.
Oh, no, we don't need a fair catch that one. Oh, I thought I could juke out the first guy. That could have ended bad.
It's a 46-yard punt.
All right, coach, what you got for us this time? He loves calling it. That's what I hate the custom playbook thing sometimes, because it just likes to call the same play over and over again.
And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to.
There we go. They did a good job stopping it that time. Let's go ahead, turn on. It looked like Melvin Gordon might be injured there. Chew clock. We're gonna go smash seam on this one though. Is Melvin Gordon out there? Virgil Green and a face mask to boot. That'll take us up deep into their territory, really. Set that up to the 35-yard line. Oh, I like this play. This one's out of the pistol, this stretch play, because it has 4 wide receivers out, so you can fake out the defense pretty well.
Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Melvin Gordon, another nice run. It's a truck off, up over 100 yards already on 6 carries. That big 70-yard touchdown run really did us a favor there. You know, if we can keep that going throughout the game, we're obviously going to do pretty well for ourselves, and hopefully get that rushing title. They're blitzing, so I'm going to throw against the blitz with a couple slants. Mike Williams gets open for the touchdown to cap off the end of the first quarter. It's going to be 21-7 at the end of the first quarter. Mike Williams up to 1250 receiving yards. And we are trying to secure receiving position number 2 for Mike Williams. Obviously, not going to catch up to, has no chance of catching up to OBJ as we should. OBJ with like 1,800 receiving yards on the season. Mike Williams has like 1,200 because we spread the ball a lot on our team. Really just vying for statistic leads at this point because we are 14-1. Like I said, this is why I haven't brought you guys a whole lot of this franchise so far. I apologize for that. It's just been a total blowout as a whole, so stuff that hole. Come on, guys. Defense is playing pretty well. 3 rushes for 3 yards, which is definitely good to see. We're going to start dialing up some blitzes here and maybe free safety. That looks like it's going to come from the strong safety side, but that's fine. Cover with Tranquil. It's going to be a run, and the blitz is going to get there. Jatavis Brown, our best player so far this season, with 80-plus tackles, 10 sacks, couple interceptions, couple forced fumbles to his name. Definitely our best player so far. I'm going to run with the nickel 2-4-5, which is actually just the base nickel, and we're not dialing up a blitz. We're going to press. We're going to do cover 2 press. Ah, dang. Oh, he ran into his lineman. I don't know what he's doing, but that's a 3rd down stop for us. Jatavis Brown gets a 3rd tackle in the game. We'll take this one back again with Benjamin. I saw that there was a couple of viewers that just got here onto the video. If you guys want to see more franchise gameplay, definitely let me know in the comment section, or let me know by leaving a like on the video if that's something that you do want to see. I want to mention that we can obviously continue this franchise. I'm pretty sure that this one's going to continue for a while. But also consider that we are going to be starting up a franchise within the next couple weeks where I am the Cardinals. So I also have that Tampa Bay rebuild that I was doing a little bit. I was using some tips and tricks videos, and then I have the Steelers franchise. So if any of those interest you, let me know which ones. Or maybe there's another team that you want to see, something like that. But I'm more than willing to try to get you guys some different content in here. I know for the most part this channel is tips and tricks videos, so here we go. We haven't called this one yet so far this game, but I love the flood drive. Or I guess it's just called flood. This one's a pretty good 3rd down play because a lot of times you're going to get Keenan Allen open, breaking outside like that. Keenan Allen gets a nice 21-yard gain for us. Not a whole lot of yards passing, but like I said, I've been increasing my completion percentage quite a bit so far this year. We're up to 75% completion. We're going to flip this one to the left. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, it didn't let me, but that's fine. God, Melvin Gordon is so good. Having that first, I believe it's the first one free trait that allows him to make those quick jukes like that. He is so good. And like I said, we can use him as trade bait because, don't get me wrong, I love Austin Eckler in this game. Is this going to be a handoff? Yeah, okay. I was a little worried there that the QB was going to take that. Yeah, I'm going to drive alert smoke. This is going to be open. We're probably going to cut it left. The big hole right there. And And they did a good job of slowing it down. We got 5 on that, though. You know what? I want to try. Haven't come out in the strong formation much yet. We're going to go Y trail. Actually, no, I lied. I want to try and get Emmanuel Hall the ball a little bit. So we're going to go pistol, but what I'm going to do... no, not Hunter Henry. Where is... Okay, they took him out now because I did that. So we want Emmanuel Hall in as the slot receiver. I'm going to try and get him a little bit of yardage because, like I said, he's at like 700 yards. We could get him up to maybe 800 yards would be really nice for us. Hall open on the right side. We might be able to burn this down to the half, which would be good. Get out of here with a 3-score lead. And yeah, halfback screen ain't a bad idea. I need to get Melvin Gordon's yardage up in the second half, so we'll definitely be grinding with him. Like I said, he's really, really close to that rushing lead. 7-7 on the day for Phillip Rivers. No surprise there. Go with the counter weak again because they have been pursuing our run game pretty well up until this point. I think the counter, yep, that counter is going to open a big hole. And we might want to, at the very least, stop. We're going to stop chewing. I want to take the dive here. That was just bad read on my part. 4th and 1. I didn't think that was 4th down, but I'll go ahead and take the field goal just because I could easily get a first and a touchdown on this play, but we'll just take the field goal because we've been blowing people out too much. Get Badgley. Badgley? Is that how you pronounce his name? We'll get Badgley another completed kick on the season. Maybe we can win him the best kicker award. And once we're done with this game, that is something I forgot to mention before was the awards. I can go ahead and show you guys who's leading for the awards. Obviously, you guys know that we're going to have a whole bunch of candidates for the awards, but there are a couple other good user teams that have some good candidates to win some awards this year. They're going to kneel it down, take it to half, and did we get the ball? Yeah, we got the ball first because it was 7-0, and they answered 7-7. So, or did we? No, they got the ball first, right? Skip the halftime show. Yeah, they got the ball first. I was going to say, they got the ball first. We stopped them on their first drive, forced them to punt to us, and we scored. So, good to see that we get the ball in the second half, and let's try and get the run game going. Like I said, oh, dang. Come on, Williams. I think that's Williams. You got to hold your block out there. I just made 2 beautiful moves and wasn't able to capitalize on that. Let's go with trips to the right, counter. Oh, shoot. Backslash. Oh, come on, guys. You didn't block the one guy in the middle. That was like an easy 15-yard gain if you just blocked.
This is Gordon as they go to him again.
Another solid 10-15 yards. Okay, we're up to 154 with him. We're going to start giving Eckler a couple carries here and there. And yeah, this time we'll go with the pitch. So should vary up the run game any way that we can. But I don't know if you guys can see, and I don't know if anybody that's watching right now has watched this series from the beginning, but there is a big difference between the way the O-line blocks now and the way the O-line blocked earlier in the season. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like these guys are getting out, they're pulling around, they're getting on their man, and really just making it happen. We're just going to run it down their throat here. I honestly ain't scared just to take it right down the middle. I have the personnel to do it now. And that's a huge game. Let's go, Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's going to get hurt. If he has... Oh, that one's tough. Because I want to guarantee that he wins the rushing title. Problem is, I don't want him to be hurt for playoffs. So if for some reason it gives me... Oh, shoot, that's a shoulder tear. Like I said, Austin Eckler's the man. I'm hoping Melvin Gordon has won that title then. Why is it doing this? There we go. Yeah, this stretch play is going to work. Tackle. Didn't block his man in, but we get the first off of that. Oh, and I don't have 2 clock on. Let's go with, let's just gun it up.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Stick a nod and see what we can get open. We might be able to get Keenan Allen open going deep here. Let's see. Possession. Oh, pass interference? I thought they were going to give us that pass interference call. Nothing.
But it's second down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Keenan Allen should be open here unless that guy drops back into his zone.
To throw again. Rivers.
Oh, Keenan Allen, you got to come down with that. I know I threw that one a little bit late, but come on, buddy.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Alright, who's going to be open? Possession catch? No, man, we can't come down with possession catch right now to save our lives. It's like, what, 3 straight incompletions when we were perfect up until that point, or close to perfect. Oh shit, that's a blocked field goal. Not that it mattered, I think I might have missed that one anyway.
Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them, likely a little
Alright, really not worried at all at this point, but let's just play some conservative defense and hope we don't get burnt. It's probably the way to play it, right? Their run game is awful. I don't know if it's their offensive line that's just not performing or what's going on. And we're going to go 3-3-5. Do a bit of a zone blitz out of this. And I definitely don't want you in press against Tyreek Hill. Good job, Darren James, coming up and helping out. And how about we go with quarter, man coverage, and then we just press up on everybody. It is going to be potentially a run or an underneath pass. Oh, dang. Who was in coverage? I'm assuming coverage on the tight end would have been Adderley. Adderley's not the best at man coverage. I should have used that, but I was concerned with the quarterback running. We're going to blitz, but I'm putting Adderley on a deep zone just in case. Tyreek Hill running, or Watkins running backwards. That one counted as a rush. We'll drop back with Mack.
On second down, Williams.
They just have no room to run. This defense is playing great. Alright, 3rd and 15. It's time to bring some heat. Let's go with... What do we got? Let's go with wheel bust 3. Safety's going to come down in coverage, so I definitely want to drop Williams back. I'll use her Adderley over the middle. They found the hole in the zone. Mahomes actually having a pretty good game. He's 6 of 6. I don't know why they keep trying to run the ball so much. I know that you kind of gotta... Now I kind of gotta blitz. Just because they come out in a heavier set than I anticipated. There we go. Stop that in the backfield. Keep getting them tackles for losses, boys. Let's go buck zone. And I think I can get away with blitzing Tranquil here. We'll see. Adderley, good tackle. We're getting close to the 4th quarter here, so if they're going to do anything, they got to score here. We're going to press up on everybody. Ooh, Tranquil's in. Man coverage. I'm going to drop back and cover him. I don't trust that at all. Oh, come on, Adderley. You got to dive for that, my boy. You got to make a play. You pick that off, you dive under that, that's game over. They have no chance to come back at that point. They really don't have a chance to come back anyway, but, you know. Alright, 24-10. And it's time to close this game out with the backup 1,000-yard running back. Very few of those, if any, ever in the NFL, to my knowledge. Alright, we're going to start off with a nice halfback dive out of a basic formation. We're going to go basic single back and just do halfback dive. Phillip Rivers in the zone still. He's in the zone every single game, like all game long. I don't know what the requirements are for him, but they're not very difficult to get Phillip Rivers into the zone. That's for sure. I almost want to take the ability off of him because it doesn't seem like it really does that much.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. We're back now in KC.
Fourth quarter, 7 minutes to burn off. If we get a good drive here, I'm confident we can burn off at least like half of that clock.
Once more, here's Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler. Oh, find that block. Come on, 73. I believe that's Donald Penn. He's the slowest of our linemen, so I guess I can't fault him too much for missing that block. We're going to go 0-1 trap. I've really become a fan of this play as well because the tight end comes in motion, so it can be confusing for a user defender. And then you do the 0-1 trap up the middle. You get nice blockers. Just plow forward for 5+ yards.
7 yards on the pickup there.
Let's go stretch. I'm not sure that's going to work. Let's just audible it out to a dive.
They'll run here with Eckler.
Ooh, Eckler getting through the hole. If we keep getting big gains like this, we might not be able to burn off as much time as I thought. We're going to go pistol stretch. They are going to come out trying to defend the run. So, can we get somebody open? Keenan Allen. Tried to do a juke move there, didn't let me. Into the red zone. Phillip Rivers, 8 for 11. 2 touchdowns, I believe it said. Yeah, I played that one poorly. Actually, I can't really say. I'll say I played that one poorly, but their defense read that one for once. Oh, man. Are you leaving Virgil Green wide open? Let's see. We're going to test it. Yep. I'll take that touchdown. I think that's Virgil Green's first touchdown on the season. Congratulations, backup tight end, on getting yourself involved the last week of the season. Now, I can't make fun of it too much because I have gotten him like 200 receiving yards on the season, so I do utilize him quite a bit. I mean, that's at 200 yards is a high number for a backup tight end. That's for sure. And I've been trying to figure out for the longest time why Tranquil is in on kickoff coverage. I know that he's fast, but technically speaking, my starting linebacker, I don't think he should be in on coverage. We're going to go ahead, and we're actually going to go out of our base 3-4, and we're going to pitch dog. Pretty confident we can get some pressure out of this. That's the important part. Is that Brown? Yeah, good job, Brown. Jatavis Brown is all over the field at all times. Alright, we're going to go nickel now. 3-3-5. Let's just go Tampa 2. Play a little conservative, maybe pinch up on everybody. I'm going to try and... he's going to Kelsey on this play, I have a feeling. No, that's a screen. That's a screen, guys. Good job, Hayward, shedding the block. Jumping over the block, I guess. Takeaways, season ranking 10. That's true. That's a good point. We haven't taken the ball away at all yet, which is fine. Definitely fine. That's just I think that's just credit to Mahomes for being a good quarterback. And also throwing a lot of short yardage plays like that. Come on, man, that's 4th down. You got to do better than that. Actually, where's that? Yeah, crossfire blitzes should work if they try and run the ball. But we'll see. I don't think they're actually going to run it here. Oh, they are. I got close to stopping that one myself, but they did a stretch play. 3 wides. I really don't see any reason to come out and do anything crazy. Like, I don't need to come out and quarter prevent or anything like that. I'm going to keep bringing pressure. We're up by 21, 3 scores with the amount of time that's left, 2-minute warning. They can't come back at this point. We're just trying to get them as low of a playoff seeding as possible. They're going to draw. There we go. Brown in for another tackle. Oh, and by the way, I have Brown, you guys have probably seen this now, I have Brown blitzing off the edge, and that is strictly because of the fact, oh, and a forced fumble, who was that? Was that Derwin James? Oh, what a nice forced fumble, and a fumble recovery by Casey Hayward. I have Jatavis Brown blitzing off the edge in Bosa's place because Bosa has so many sacks, and I don't want to obliterate the sack record. You know, I don't mind breaking it by, like, 1 sack, but obliterating the sack record is a little bit frowned upon in our league. That's for sure. Wide open, Hunter Henry. I'm going to chew most of the clock off, but because Badgley missed a field goal, I'm going to get him a field goal here. I know, it's a division game. It's frowned upon to do stuff like that, but, it happens. Yeah, Eckler, take that down to the 2. Call timeout with a couple seconds left and get that field goal. Walk off here with a 15-1 record on the season. All Madden difficulty, guys. A lot of AI games. A couple user games that I remember. Lost our 1 game to the Bears. But he might not even make playoffs at this point, so we'll see. 34-10, a good win at the end of the season. Hopefully, we can't advance forward yet, but hopefully we were able to get Melvin Gordon that rushing title, even though he'll be out for playoffs with a torn shoulder. He'll be back for next season. We could trade him, guys. Like I said, I don't need him. You guys saw I did pretty well with Eckler. Obviously, Melvin Gordon is better because he has that X factor, and he's just a better player overall. But definitely consider, if there's somebody you guys want to see me trade for next season, leave that down in the comment section, and we will probably use Melvin Gordon as a trade piece for him. A couple upgrades on the game. We have Hunter Henry, who's now up to a 91 with morale, an 89 official, and Deshaun Hand doing a nice job. He got a sack that game, up to an 84, 86 with his 2 morale boost. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you guys was our season awards. And now that we have all our stats in, we are pretty much locked in where we're going to be. And it's down to everybody else on whether they're going to surpass us or not. Now, as you guys saw, Phillip Rivers was leading the league in pretty much all categories, and he is up here at the top for MVP. Baker Mayfield could make a last-minute push. The reason being is that guy that's the Browns is pretty good at the game. He's been passing all over people all season long, so he could flip over Rivers if he has a really good last performance. Coach of the Year going to none other than LaDainian Tomlinson. I don't really think that there's anybody else that has a shot at that, because I am 15-1. AFC-wise, Phillip Rivers, Offensive Player of the Year, then the other likely candidates like Baker Mayfield, Melvin Gordon, Patrick Mahomes, the usual stuff there. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller. I think Bosa should be ahead of him, but it looks like Bosa is not going to get that award, which is a little bit disappointing, because I did take him out, but he did break the sack record, so maybe that's why, because I took him out and he didn't finish strong. Jatavis Brown, Derwin James, a couple guys in there in the running. Offensive Rookie of the Year, it looks like it's going to go to Emmanuel Hall, but that could change. That's mainly based off the fact that he has like 800 receiving yards. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I felt like Tranquil or Mac Wilson or maybe Adderley would have a shot at that. Obviously, they are here in the rankings, but they're not going to surpass Devin Bush. It looks like Devin Bush is having a really good season for the Steelers. Best quarterback, no surprises there. Best running back, Melvin Gordon's going to win that one, or at least I expect him to. I don't see Mark Ingram really doing that much. Best wide receiver, no surprise at all that OBJ is up here at the top. He's just blowing away the rest of the competition. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams at the 2 and 3 spot, and some other well-known names after that. Mike Pouncey, third in the running for best offensive lineman, but nice to see that Decker and Donald Penn made it onto that list as well. Best defensive lineman, hopefully Bosa wins that. Myles Garrett could win that with a good performance last week of the season, but right now, Joey Bosa up at the top. Best linebacker, Von Miller. That makes sense because he is slated for Defensive Player of the Year. And best DB, and then we'll get to best kicker. So best DB, Tre'Davious White. That makes sense. That's disappointing that he's like one interception ahead of Trevor Williams, but he's just a really good player. I'm an LSU fan. Tre'Davious White's a tremendous player and came out of LSU. Trevor Williams did really well for us, came on strong at the end of the season. If he would have caught a couple more picks at the beginning of the season, he'd probably have double digits. So a little bit disappointing that he did drop so many. Derwin James came in, did really well for us after his injury, so if he would have been available for us for a whole season, he would have had a shot at this award as well. Best kicker, yeah, I just screwed that one up by missing or getting blocked with Michael Badgley. Justin Tucker's going to win that. Not a surprise, but I was really hoping to get that and pull that out for Badgley. I know that's kind of a meaningless award, but I was hoping to get that for my players. So, like I've said, leave your feedback on the video. Any feedback you have whatsoever, what you want to see, what videos you want to see, what tips and tricks you need, what franchises you want to see, if anything, let me know down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and if you guys want to see some playoff gameplay, let me know that as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a good one.